I'd booked a quiet weekend in a cabin deep in Cedar Pines Forest. It was just what I needed, a true escape from the city. The first night though, around midnight, I was awoken by what sounded like a tap at my window. Just one tap and then silence. I looked outside and saw what could have been a person standing among the bare branches of the trees. I couldn't make out any details. It wasn't moving, blinking, or doing anything. It was just there. I closed the curtain and laughed it off. At 3:12 a.m. though, the front doorknob started to rattle. At first it was slow and methodical, then faster and more frantic, like someone was pounding on it with a fist. I stood still in the dark listening to it, but it suddenly stopped. And I mean suddenly. Like a record scratch, silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by my loud heartbeat. I didn't move a muscle, not even to breathe, until the sun started to rise. The next day, the neighbor, an older man, came by to see if I was alright. "Did that guy ever find you?" he asked. "What guy?" I asked, hoping my surprise would come across. "The tall man, the long coat. I saw him walking by yesterday. He asked where you were staying. Said he was a friend. I hadn't told anyone where I was. I packed up and left that night." It's strange because the locals still talk about it. They say, the forest sometimes lets people go. But I don't think I was so lucky. Do you believe me? Well, some things can't be explained, and I'm not going to pretend that this one can. You can hear the fear in his voice as he tells this story. And even though the neighbor tried to play it off like, "Oh no, don't worry, he probably didn't mean any harm," I don't know, that doesn't sit right with me. And when someone's trying to break into your home in the middle of the night, it doesn't really matter if their intentions are good or bad. If they're breaking into your house in the middle of the night, that is a problem. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below. Also, let me know your thoughts on this one. This one is pretty freaky. Again, that's what she said. Alright, this one's gonna start off with a little backstory. A few years back, I was working as a security guard at a shopping mall in suburban St. Louis. Nothing too fancy, just your typical run-of-the-mill retail establishment filled with the usual mix of bored teenagers, disgruntled old people, and the occasional shoplifter. One particular incident involved a teenage girl who had stolen a pair of headphones and was trying to leave the store without paying for them. I spotted her as I was doing my rounds, and I decided to give her a little scare. As I approached her, I grabbed my radio and loudly announced over the air that I had detained a shoplifter and requested backup. Needless to say, this caused quite a commotion, as several police cars screeched to a halt outside the store, and several burly officers barged through the doors. While all this was going on, the girl I had originally detained was sitting quietly in a chair in the back of the store. I sat next to her and waited for the show to begin. And let me tell you, these cops did not disappoint. The first officer to arrive was a big lug with a face like a bulldog and a handlebar mustache. "Get up against that wall. Yeah, little thief," he growled, his eyes boring into hers. Now, I do not want to paint the officers as all being bad, because there were a few good ones there as well. One of them, a young woman with a kind face and a soft voice, knelt down next to the girl and said, "Hey, we just want to talk to you about what happened." But the tough guy just cut her off. "Don't listen to her, kiddo. She's just trying to take your side. Now, where's your mom and dad? I'm gonna need to have a little chat with them." The girl broke down, sobbing at that. Meanwhile, the nice officer was trying to hand me a pair of handcuffs, but I just shook my head and gave them back. "You guys have got to chill out a bit. This is just a pair of headphones we're talking about here, not some high-end electronics or jewelry. And besides, I already have a so how about we just call her parents and let them handle it from here?" My suggestion was met with a chorus of grunts and eye rolls. "Yeah, right. Like her parents are gonna care," the big lug scoffed. "They probably won't even show up. And then what are we supposed to do with her then?" I shrugged. "That's your problem, not mine. I am just a lowly able to talk the girl into returning the headphones and apologizing for stealing them." As the officers filed out of the store, shaking their heads and muttering under their breath, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. Not only had I successfully dealt with the shoplifting situation, but I had also shown those bigots that sometimes a little compassion and understanding can go a lot further than brute force and intimidation. Wow. Sometimes it feels good to be a security guard. And hey, I've never been to St. Louis, but now after hearing about this place, I'm less likely to go there.